We're live. Okay, and I got an email out too. Holy crap, bunch of comments. Okay. I don't have a ton of time. For those of you that read my email, I got to go pick my son up because he's 16 today and I got to take him to get his permit. He wants to get it. He wants to drive. T-Bear got here early, so I may not be able to. Ecamm is working. I see the sound volume, so you should be able to hear me. This is going to be a fast-moving but great presentation. You're going to learn something really cool. You're going to find out something that you might not even believe me. You may not believe me, but it's incredibly useful, and it will change your perspective on postcard marking, I promise. Greg says do a sound check. I don't know. Can someone confirm that it's working? Zoe is here. I'm right here, right on time. I set it for 05. Conrad likes my hairdo. There, the lack of. No hat today. It didn't look as good. Barry loves the beard. Thank you. Dress for Halloween. It's miserable out here today too. It's miserable. I feel more productive when I dress up a bit. Okay, everyone can hear me. Good. You can hear me. Oh my God, I'm going to fire through these in a second. We'll do some postcard shout outs and I will rip through this little presentation I have. It's going to change your mind about postcards. I know some of you are small business owners yourselves, or some of you are marketers that are helping small business owners. I think this is a very good time to talk about some things about postcard marketing that you'll really like. Okay, you can hear me. Good. Don't forget to like the video, Rhonda says. I appreciate that. Let's do the shout outs real quick. Let's do those quick. Shout outs today. Zoe just got these done. Also, welcome to our team, Marissa. So now we have Alyssa and Marissa. Another customer support. I'm just shutting this one little window that's annoying. I can't see. So I don't know. She might be live on here now, but she's doing great. She went to college in Ireland. She just came back and she's doing great. We have a great system now on the customer support side. We have 17 hours of total coverage, and it is working really well. Finally, thank God. This week has been crazy, but everyone say hi to Marissa. So we have Marissa, Alyssa, Zoe, Jane, and Andrea on the customer support side. Those are the people that you're interacting with most of the time. Postcard shout-outs today. Rachel with another one. She just dropped another. She had another one or two last week. Now she's got another one. Jeremy Johnson, he's dropping another one. He had one not too long ago. He's on there with a community-ish card. Community cards are starting to come in pretty good. But Josh Talkington with another one. You recognize them there with another one. Distinguished, someone says. Very distinguished. Who's this? Ryan Kuski, that's right. And he's got another one, too. He's just doing a solo mailer, too. I don't know if he's watching right now. And he's only about... he's in the Capital District, Albany area. I used to commute to Albany every day. He's doing great over there. Madeline with another one. Because it's so busy in the fall and holidays that these things are just popping off. Great job. Matt McClure with another one. No, Rochester area, if any of you are out there. Mike McBride with another one. This is his fourth card. Community card. Looking great. Jose Morales. And I just saw in his email, he said, I have a YouTube channel. And if you're in here, Jose, drop that link, the name of your channel. Totally. He's been documenting his 9x12 successes and progress. So I wish I knew the channel. I could drop it in here, but I just saw it at the end. Travis Drake, look at that picture. I love these pictures. He's giving Polche a run for his money. Nice job with the 10,000 piece. Those are all the shout outs that I have that approved them. Great job, everyone, this week. Scott says your email response is awesome. Thank you. I talk about this sometimes. It's that I'm just trying to shut this window off here. There we go. It's very important to me to have great customer service. I could automate everything. It'd be very easy and logical to automate everything and like canned responses and forms that you fill out, ordering systems, but it would confuse the heck out of people. And I really like direct customer service. I like talking to people directly. I like that my staff and me, we all get to know each other. They're familiar faces, familiar names. I like that. I think that will help us succeed in these years ahead where everything is AI and fake people and automated systems and very cold. I think the actual customer service goes a long way. That's very important. Les said I combed my hair today. I tried. Yeah, Jose's got his card out. Bartoon says I'm looking good. Thank you. Marissa helped me this week, Danielle said. Is she on in here? I told her to go. I don't know if she knows that I go live. I know I mentioned it, but let me see if, let me tell her some people are I just told her. Cloud servers here. Okay. Well, what's this right here? I don't wear ties, Thompson says, because I had one on when I married my ex. Must cut the oxygen to my brain. I don't like ties either. I do not like ties. Oh, she's got it on. Marissa's got it on. Sorry for the extra headaches. No, you guys... I think I caused a lot of headaches for people today. Max Chambliss is shouting us out. It never gets old. Yeah, huge shout out to Jose. I wish, just put your channel. If someone would subscribe to his channel, he's been documenting everything. She's on. She don't know how to use chat. That's all right. Polche is my spirit animal, Travis said. All right, I got to pay attention to this time because I got to go see whatever tonight, the Gabby's Dollhouse tonight, and I got to get this thing. Nicholas Brandt is going to send his 4th and 5th cards out tomorrow. I can't wait to see those. And Max, thank you so much for your nice comments there too, Max Chambliss. Okay, I'll get caught up on these comments if I'm not careful. Let me throw this presentation up here. You're going to like this. Oh, I got to rant for a second because YouTube be taking my freaking videos down. It's so frustrating. Now I've had 2 videos taken down. They say for harmful content because it's make money, harmful. It says harmful content. You cannot, this covers promises to make money fast. And then I go on my feed and I see this. I literally see this thing with Dan Martell, who I used to like a little bit, but now I think he's kind of a freaking hack. $2,700. I got to look at this and see someone on there saying make $2,700 a day, make $10K a day, make 10 million. The only for it to tell me this is fine, but my stuff is harmful content. Delete it, wipe it all out. 400,000 something view video wiped out, gone. Freaking junk. Freaking crap. Yeah, it's just frustrating. Freaking Dan Martell. Freaking AI crap. Okay, that's it. That's my rant for that. Point, though, is that be careful because YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, you are at their mercy. So whatever kind of marketing you do on those platforms could be gone. It's a reminder that they could just take it away. They could remove your channel. They could limit things. They could limit your reach. They can do so much. Everything can change. You can be doing great one day and terrible the next. Prices can change. Reach changes, conversion changes. They can delete your channel. They can restrict you, whatever. They can do so much and you have no control. You are literally at their mercy. They can remove you overnight. And I just want you to be mindful of that. I'm not saying not to use them, but a reminder that they are in control. They control it all. I'm sure some of you have had some kind or know someone with an issue. I do dog Dan Martell sometimes because I liked him with the audit your time and stuff, but now he's moved into this ridiculous AI stuff. And I had to hear him say, I dogged him the other week because when he said that he can create books now of himself in seconds because of his AI generation. He says it's not synthetic. He goes, it's not synthetic either because it uses my voice. It's not made. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Whatever. We're all in the hustle, but it's just frustrating seeing stuff like that. And then my stuff gets yanked. Yeah. Disclaimer, probably got to do that stuff. I don't know. Ooh, Tom Ford Oudwood. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a great one. Tobacco Vanille. Oh, Dorn has a good point there. Subs, ad followers on a list you control. Yes, email lists, Pixel, even mailing lists. Just being able to control your list and getting people from social media onto the list that you control. And even then, you don't. I have Aweber. Aweber could say, "Oh, I violate whatever," and delete me. Back up your lists. You know, all these platforms have so much control. It's scary. It really is. It's terrifying. But let's talk a little bit about direct mail, because as you can see, this is probably leading you to me telling you about how great direct mail is, because it does not have all those things that go with it. Social media is good for local marketing. I don't want to undermine that. It's great for local marketing. I mean, I'm a huge fan of social media. I can point a lot of our business and most of our growth to social media, to YouTube. It's great for local marketing, but it's very challenging, and it's unreliable. It's heavily unreliable. You can't rely on it. Now, if you're SaaS, software as a service, if you're e-commerce, social media is critical. I probably wouldn't even really bother with direct mail in the national landscape. If you're trying to reach national audiences or e-commerce, that is social media type stuff. And when you listen to people like Gary Vee and Alex Hormozy, especially like Gary Vee, that is geared, that kind of stuff is all geared for businesses that operate nationally, or business consulting nationally, e-commerce, software, where you're trying to reach an extremely large crowd nationally, not locally. There's not a lot you can learn from them in the marketing space. There's definitely some good stuff, but there's really not much that's at the local, practical for the very, very local, everyday landscaper, HVAC, lawn care, realtor, insurance agent. That's where direct mail, I think, plays its biggest part, is in the local marketing sphere. So if you're helping businesses, this stuff is going to be very useful. And I want you to keep a reminder and remind your clients about how shaky the social media thing is. Things can change just overnight. TikTok can go away. Remember that earlier in the year? Could just go away. Postcards really are an ATM machine. I can't say it enough. They are an ATM machine. They produce absurdly high ROIs, 5x to 10x ROI. That's 5 times your money, 10 times to 10 times your money is normal. That's pretty much expected. 5x is like a normal return. If you do everything right for the most part with postcards, you're going to see a 5 times ROI. The more things you do better you get at it, the more you do it, the more you get all the little pieces right, the higher that ROI creeps up, and you can get into 10 plus. You can get into 15x ROI. That's putting $5 in and getting $25 out minimum. It's a lot. No algorithm. There's no spam filter. You can pretty much send anything. You can send anything on a postcard. The post office just simply, their job is to deliver it. There's no spam filter. It's repeatable. You can just keep mailing the same exact campaign over and over. The reach doesn't decrease. It's extremely repeatable. It's laser targetable. You can do EDDM where you hit whole audiences, whole neighborhoods, or you can hit precise audience and demographics. You can hit exactly the type of people you want, right down to age, what kind of car they drive, how long they've lived there, what kind of house, how much they owe on the house. I mean, almost every kind of data point imaginable you can target. It has a really long shelf life. It doesn't just disappear as you scroll by. It stays with you. You have to do something with it to get rid of it. People put it on their fridge. I say this to clients a lot sometimes. People get your thing in the mail and they say, "Oh, this looks good. Let me save." So they put it on the fridge, and you walk by it constantly. It's like a TikTok ad. It's like an ad that just keeps playing. Like every time you walk by the fridge and you open the fridge, how many times you go by the fridge in your house? A lot, right? more than you should. You do that motion or something. And it's imagine your ad, your TikTok ad, just playing again. That's what a postcard does. You see it a billion times. You send it once and you see it a billion times. You don't have to pay every time they see it. Those kind of like mental visuals are really good. But it's very long shelf life. People put it on coffee tables, but they put it in a drawer, they put it somewhere. It's portable, so you can move it around. You can bring it to a friend. You can say, "Oh, my Aunt Mary likes that. She'd like this," or whoever. My friend with this, they like this restaurant. Let me save this and give it to them. It's very portable. It's unique. Mail is different today. You know, it's something different than what you're accustomed to seeing. Unique and different. There's really no competition. Sometimes, especially the older of us who have been through so many decades of junk mail, you think you get a ton of mail, and people will be like, I get landscapers all the time in my mail. No, you don't. You don't get a ton of dentists in your mail. You don't get a ton of landscapers. You think you do. You get maybe a lot of you won't even get any competitors in the mailbag. You'll be the only one. You don't. It's a very little used medium in the local space. It's very, very little used. You're not really going to run into competitors. Very stable cost. It doesn't change by the day. It's on an auction format. You're not fighting against how many other people are advertising like it is on social media and pay-per-click. It's extremely stable cost. It goes up very small amounts, typically once or twice a year, and those things aren't usually very noticeable. It's very predictable. And it doesn't need you. That's a big one too. It doesn't need you like social media does. You have to be constantly on it. You have to be thinking of things, creating new content. You don't have to do that with direct mail. Like you can just be the HVAC owner and hire you or me or someone to make the campaign and do all the parts and pieces. It doesn't need you. It's also very stealthy. I don't talk about this one a lot, but it's really stealthy. It's different. It's under the radar. No one's going to drive around and see it. So you can advertise things that you may not want to put up on billboards. You may not want everyone on social media seeing. You can send it to specific audiences like past customers or maybe people who just moved. So you can send an ad or a coupon, an offer that's very aggressive just to people who aren't customers or people who just moved in or people in a very specific demographic, and you want to give them a little better deal than you do everyone else. You can do that. It's very stealthy, and then everyone else won't see it. That's like we have Spectrum, but you might have different phone carriers. They'll send mail when you've maybe visited their site or shown some interest, or you're not a customer, maybe you were a customer a long time ago. They'll send you a very specific offer sometime that everyone else won't see. It's very stealthy. Same as you can take an abandoned audience, customers in your database that haven't done business with you in a long time, and just send them an offer to maybe spur them to come back. I really like that about it. Oh, Sarah's here. She wasn't sure if I was going to see her or not, but I do. Lucy says, looking good. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. Lucy, what are you doing up in here? Dorn said. Danielle says, the average person spends 30 minutes with their mail. Physical mailbox has no spam filter. Holy crap. Looking sharp, Labors. Thank you. What if the post office blocks me? They would be in trouble if they blocked you. And, our Viper says, interestingly enough, Google uses direct mail. I used to get postcards. They sure do. Amazon uses it too. If you have kids, you probably got it's called the Dash or something catalog. It's a toy catalog. They use the mail. Almost every Gucci, Prada, they all use the mail. Google, I don't know if Facebook does. I guarantee you they mail stuff. Professor Jake, Jody says. Rumble is okay. Yeah, I should probably throw content on Rumble, just to do it. I don't know, whatever. Lori Mooney is here. Great to see you. Pony Express. Man, the mail is actually pretty fast. I think I mentioned this in another live show. My mom told me my grandfather he grew up in rural Pennsylvania. If everyone knows where Forest City is, that's where I spent all my summers. He has a cottage there. this is like farmland, you know, and this is in the 40s, late 30s, 40, late 30s, mid 40s. They used to announce their baseball games. Like they would be able to send families like mail like across the whole area in like a day and get across like this huge wide area of the mail system is crazy efficient even back then. I was doing some research locally. There were multiple more post offices than I had thought where they could transport news. I'm how many miles from New York? I think I'm 250 miles from New York City, maybe 275 miles. And it would be like a one day. Like you would get mail from New York City. This is in the 1800s because they'd have so many post offices and these people would go back and forth twice a day. You just have people moving really fast between towns. I thought it was pretty cool. The urban sombrero setting. Make sure you put me down for something free today. Maybe next week I'll give a free thing. I have an idea actually. I got to rip through this here. Oh, why do some people get bad results? We're doing good on time. Why do some people get bad results? So you may think like, oh, if the mail's so great, how come I tried it and it didn't work? And these are things you might run into when you're talking to business owners, right? They'll say, I did it before it didn't work. But I think it would be good for you to know why the mail doesn't work sometimes. It's not perfect. It's not going to work every single time. And it's important not to, the worst question, which is one of the most common questions that I get, Marissa and Zoe and Jane will agree, is show me a piece that worked. Can you show me, hey, I'm a realtor. Can you show me a realtor piece that other realtors, you know it works? That's a bad question. I understand it comes from really good intentions, but you can't just copy someone else's card and expect to see the same thing. You can't. Just like I can't copy a Mr. Beast video and I get the same results. I can't copy you can't do the Renegade on TikTok and get the same results as something, right? It does not work. You can't just copy what someone else's does and be mad when it doesn't work. Why did theirs work? You don't know why theirs work. Maybe they have a great reputation. Maybe they've been mailing, like in the case of real estate. I can show you lots of real estate cards that work, that people have been doing forever. You can copy that all day. You're not going to have the reputation they do. Maybe the reviews they do. Maybe what works here works well here and doesn't work over there. Maybe they've been mailing for 5 years and everyone knows them. And this is just a way to continue. And they get something in the mail and they know you. So they call because they see you all the time. And this is your first mailing. There are so many reasons why a postcard for one person works and won't work for you. If the most popular restaurant in town does a mailer, they can just put their brand on there and a coupon for 10% off and people will be in there redeeming it. You can be a brand new cafe, but no one knows you. You got 2 1-star reviews. You're in the edge of town with bad parking and horrible hours. And you're going to think you're going to get the same exact thing. Even if you put a great offer, it doesn't matter. There's so much more than just the postcard. Travis says, any tips for closing businesses that have bad results? Yeah, just watch this. You'll have a better understanding for sure. Here's some of the top things off the top of my head, reasons why a direct mail campaign might not have worked. No consistency. If you don't do them repeatedly, they may not work. The higher the ticket, the more emotional the decision, the less often that decision is, like a kitchen remodeling. How often do you remodel your kitchen? How often do you sell your house? How often do you buy a car? These things do not happen that often. So they're harder. They take a lot more money, a lot more marketing, and a lot more time to see results. You're not going to do one mailer and get a listing for a house every single time. The ROI would be so astronomical, mathematically, it just wouldn't happen. You'd have a 100 times ROI, and you're not going to get that. Now, if you're a pizzeria and you do it, you don't have to do it multiple times to see response. You can get that in the first time because it's a thing people are buying every single day. There's not a lot of thought, emotion for people buying pizza. But a lot of people do think, oh my God, I didn't sell any I didn't sell any houses. I didn't get a listing. I just tried it. It didn't work. I sent out 500 of these things and I didn't get one listing. Well, you're not going to spend $200 and get a $1 million home listing. Mathematically, it just doesn't work like that. No appeal. If your card is not appealing, that can be a reason. It might have just been really bland, poorly put together, not very clear, not very exciting. So appeal does play a part of that. And that's like headlines, copy, the attractiveness, the visuals. Do you have a visual? I fight with contractors sometimes because I'm like, put your face on there. Sometimes people want to see the person they're doing business with. You will get so much more response if you just put your face on these things. No audience match. If you're not sending it to the people that are a match, you're not going to get good response. That's with all marketing. It's with all advertising. If you're not hitting the audience that wants, Dan Kennedy says, match bait to critter. That's one of the first marketing lessons I learned. Match bait to critter. If you're going to go catching whatever critter or hunting, you use the bait that attracts them. No reason why. This is a big one. You're going to run a sale. Well, what's the reason for this? 20% off. The more of a reason why, the more credible you are. The more it's like, oh my God, this makes sense. I got to go do this. Spring is ending. The tariffs are coming. The end of the year, the holidays coming. Stock is low. Give a reason why, not just sometimes people are like really aggressive with their marketing. They're like, I'm going to do 50% off of this. I'm going to do a roof for $2,000 or something. And no one believes them. It's too good to be true. There's not a reason why. Not a good reason why. Add that reason why. Why is this on sale? Why is this a great time to buy? Why do you have to use us? Reason why. No patience. Some people don't even put expiration dates, and urgency is a big thing too. And then they wonder, well, I didn't get any response. And you look and it's got like, you didn't give them enough time. Like you set the time so far away. Like, yeah, okay, the coupon expires in 2028, and you're worried about why no one is responding. Maybe you should have just tried giving them 30 days. No credibility. If you don't have credibility, it's going to be harder. So you can build credit. There's a lot of ways to get credibility, but mailing consistently is one of them, so they get familiar with you. But what does your online presence look like? When someone searches you online, especially if you're like a realtor or insurance or dentist or doctor, they're going to go online. They're going to look. If you've got some reviews, 5-star reviews, you've got people saying good things, you've got some kind of a presence on there, that gives you credibility. No urgency and no volume, simply not mailing enough. If you have a high ticket item and you're mailing 1,000 pieces, it's unlikely you're going to get any measurable response right away. There's just not enough volume. You've got to pick up that volume. What you guys saying? Results equal exposure, being known versus unknown. I used to think indirect advertising was so stupid, partially because my first I come up from sales and direct marketing. Everything was direct marketing. But I bought my first marketing lessons. I bought Dan Kennedy's No BS Marketing, which is a great book. But he trashes indirect marketing in there. He totally trashes it. I was like, okay, I'm following this guy. Everything he says makes sense. And over time, I realized, but I think a lot of that has to do with the internet and how now indirect advertising and brand is just critical because people will search you online. Back then, it's like 2010, pre-2010, there was no online searching. Like you had to go by what they were advertising. They said they were the best, and they must be the best. There was no Googling something. There was no reviews. So now my thoughts on that have totally shifted. Jay Tompkins says, sending basement remodeling offers to mobile home parks. And understanding that you may be doing something like this because you're sending EDDM or a large volume, and knowing that those are not targets. Sometimes, a lot of times, people will be like, I sent 5,000 of these, Jake. My response rate is this. Well, you're gauging your response rate on 5,000. You sent out basement remodeling or floor epoxy floors or something, but not everyone is even a homeowner. There's a lot of people that are just renters, or they're in foreclosure, or they're 80 years old. These are not targets. So when you send 5,000 of them out, this is not 5,000 targets. The actual targets are maybe 600 people or something. I mean, when you really think about it, the people in the income range and the age range looking for that kind of thing, have a garage, have a basement, is probably pretty small. So knowing it's okay to send higher volume, as long as you know, like to EDDM, as long as you know a lot of those aren't going to be targets. Danielle says it's so beneficial to be upfront with the businesses by letting them know how important consistency is. Usually when I explain why, they are sold. Right. Just explain it to them. Talk about the ad on Facebook. On Facebook, they scroll away. You see an ad on Facebook, you scroll away. Like, even if you were partially interested, you scroll away. It takes a lot of different exposures to be like, oh yeah, maybe I should do this. With a postcard, people they're mildly interested. They put it up on their fridge and it sits there, and you go, how many times you go to the fridge, you point to your belly and how many times you go to the fridge, and it's like seeing your ad all the time. You don't have to pay per impression. It's just there. They see it 1 million times a day. Travis says my buddy got a tree service ad at his apartment. Yep. It's part of the game. Internet changed everything. Sure did. And it's important to know things change, like ideas change and design changes. The nice thing is in direct mail, it changes very slow. It's a very, very slow change. Kevin Hubbard says, hey, Jake, if I want to send an EDDM to a route where they drop off the post office is too far to drive. Oh yeah, I have a whole video on that. If you send me an email, I'll send it to you, send the link to you. You basically just ship them, and there's a couple different ways you can ship them. There's a letter that you got to include. I have that letter. I'll send it to you, no charge. It's cheaper. For me, if it's more than a 10-minute drive away and that's pushing it, we're just mailing it. We're just shipping it out. With direct mail, you don't have to be creative, you don't have to be funny, and you don't have to be entertaining. Most local businesses are not. Business owners, they're not creative. They're not funny. They're not entertaining. They don't like being in front of a camera. They're comfortable mowing the lawns and fixing the things or running their business, running their team. They got enough on their plate than to make TikToks all day. If you want to win at social media, you have to be engaging, entertaining, trendy, consistent. That you are essentially giving up your business to be a content creator. If social media is going to be what you want to do for marketing, you can't outsource that. I know some of you do like social media. I understand there's a value to that and having someone use AI to post for you. But really, to see the correct social media response, you have to be making content. And you don't just do that once in a while. You have to do that daily. TikToks die by the minute. You have to be constantly making TikToks, shorts, Facebook posts, constant. Your life will be consumed as a content creator, and you will no longer be the business owner that you probably are. You'll have to be a content creator, and that is not what local marketers or local business people are able to do. Very, very, very few. Extreme, absurdly few local business owners can be an engaging content creator, and that's what it takes. And it gets harder every day. Now with AI in the mix, it is exponentially harder. Like to stand out as a content creator at the local level enough to see any kind of results it's like a crapshoot like times a million. You have to make new content every minute. Like you are that's all that's on your mind. It's all you do is make content. Every moment of your life will be to creating content. And that is just not in the cards, not an option for your typical local business owner. With direct mail, you don't have to do that. You don't have to fight as hard for attention. I have 2 more slides and one more after this, and I'll show you the big thing that is going to shift your perspective. You don't have to be at the mercy of algorithms. There's no trends. There's no algorithms with mail. You don't have to become a creator instead of a business person. And Gen Z, the next slide is the one that that I've been waiting to tell you. Gen Z and Gen Alpha love mail. Now you have Alpha. I talk about Gen Z sometimes. We have Gen Alpha too. All they know is TikTok and short. That's all they know. So they're oblivious to ads. And most of like Gary Vee type people and stuff that are so consumed with social media, they look at things that like within social media, like live shopping, like that's going to be the biggest thing is live shopping and stuff. The local landscaper, the local kitchen remodeler is not going to be live streaming TikTok all day selling you a kitchen. There's probably some opportunity with that, but that is not going to be the new face of social media. In my opinion, I think mail is the clear winner because they have never experienced this. We, millennial, older millennial, Gen X, baby boomers, we know what junk mail is. We grew up with big mailboxes full of stuff, and you've got a bunch of trash in the mail, and it was just junk mail is this word and this stigma of tons of mail, and it's annoying, and the recycling bin's there, and your trash in there. It has this negative connotation to us because we grew up with it like that. Number one, the mail isn't like that anymore. Number two, they don't know that is a word that they think of junk mail, and they kind of know what that is, and I think they think of it as email. They certainly don't think of it as mail because they've never gotten mail. Like mail is something they know happens, but nothing. It's not even a thing. They don't fight with it every day. They're not like social media ads. They don't like experience it. So when they're on their own, right now Gen Z is in their late 20s and they're just becoming homeowners. They're just, and it's harder, right? This age, like fewer and fewer people in that age are becoming homeowners. So many of them aren't. They're in apartments, but they're on their own and they've begun receiving mail. These are the people, and especially Gen Alpha, that's over the next 10 years, they're going to respond to, you're going to be the realtor that sends a mail piece and you're going to get the listing. You're going to get a buyer because they're going to be like, wow, this person sent me this personal thing in the mail. I mean, Gen Z and Gen Alpha will look at a mail, they'll look at the piece, they'll save it. They don't know what to do with it. It sits there, it's shiny, it's got texture, it's colorful, it's physical. They've never experienced that. Letters, I'm sure, will go into vogue. Like I'm sure handwritten letters will become a thing. I'm positive that will have probably a pretty big resurrection. Just like records and CDs and stuff is now becoming everything is coming so fast and hard. Like the amount of just digital crap that is invading our lives, it's refreshing to have a digital, a freaking Walkman, a cassette. These are very intriguing things to youth. Mail is going to fit right in there perfectly. None of those come from that junk mail era. They don't know that. They don't have that negative connotation. Where's Jay Green? I said. Gen BC, Jay Tompkins says. Never experienced mail. Wow, that's hard hitting. Yeah, I know, isn't it, Jules? They didn't. So all of our thoughts of mail, they don't have that. Realtors sure love the card. I could be rich if I could sell 16 spots to realtors. All right, here's the slide that I really wanted to share. How many people we got on tape? We got a good amount? 80s. All right, it's all right. It's a simple fact, and I know that, I just want to make sure my volume's on. I know that many of you aren't going to believe this, but it's true. It's a true fact. It's totally true. It's a very great selling point, but you have to use this selling point with the person you can talk and explain this to, because it's so crazy to think of, but it's so powerful. I'm like building it up. It really is. This is a stat that just really hammers home how powerful direct mail postcards are. We're inundated with ads, right? Everywhere. Social media, we're all on social media. We scroll through, we see ads constantly. It is so hard to see success in that arena, especially at the local level. It's so expensive. It's so hard to stand out. It's really, really hard. Here's a stat for you. Believe it or not, this is true. Here it is. The average household in the USA, they only receive on average 2 pieces of mail a day. That's it. It's 13 a week. The average is 13 pieces per week. It's 2 pieces per day. That's all the average home in America receives per day. It's barely anything. I know that some of you like to think that you get hundreds of pieces a day, and so trust me, you don't. You don't. If you're like me, sometimes we don't even check our mail for days. And there's a pile, and you're like, oh, there's a pile of mail, but that thing has been sitting there for a week plus. And I get a lot of mail. I get a decent amount of mail. We get catalogs and letters and crap. And even over the course of a week, we check our mail maybe once a week. I'll glance at it because it's delivered in a slot in our garage, so there's like a basket. The average household only receives 2 pieces of mail per day. So you're not even fighting. If you mail something as a business owner, you're going to be like one of the very few pieces that come in that day. Even a high mail load household that just gets a lot of mail for whatever reason, it's not going to be that much mail. There's only 2 on average per day. At the height, I think year 2000 was the height of mail volume. And it was, I'm trying to think. I think it's maybe 2.5 times the amount of mail volume. So you're getting 4 or 5 pieces, maybe at the height. You're only getting 2. That's all you're getting. Bruce says he checks his mail. Same with me. I glance at, I see it, and I can see things in there, so you kind of know it's something really important or something. Right now, it's a bunch of political stuff. I still save them all, and I always say, okay, I'll make videos on these. But it's only 2. What's your reference and data? So you can look this up. The only, there's a few ways, and I've done a good amount of research on it. The post office publishes mail pieces sent and received per household. So you kind of have to extrapolate that people are not typically sending very many, so almost all of it will be receiving, but it's sent and received. And it's a specific mail volume. They deliver it's 300 million pieces per day or something, whatever amount it is. It's this crazy amount of mail per day. Many of them are packages, so you have to do first class. They publish these stats. There's a thing that shows every year since the 1920s how much first class mail is delivered per day, and then you can divide that by it's per week. I think they do it per week. They don't do a per day, they do a per week of that, and you just divide it by the amount of households or whatever, and it comes out to. I've also done a lot of research. There's a lot of Reddit threads that have post office carriers talking about how many pieces they've delivered at the height, the old time carriers, how much they were delivering at the height, and you can pretty much find out that it's 13 pieces on average per week. I think somewhere the post office has an official source. You can ChatGPT this, do some digging. It's 13 or 14 pieces per week per household. So that comes out to 2 per day. And most homes don't get Sundays. So it's 2. Barely anything. Making sure my mic is on. Northwest says, the only person who seems to get mail at my house is my wife. It's almost like I'm non-existent. I'm below average. I honestly haven't checked my mailbox in a month. That also can be an indication of why sometimes people don't always respond to mail. You can do mailers as a business owner. Some people don't check their mail that often. Most people check it per day. It's one of the things that people just do every day. Not everyone, and some people just won't simply check their mail for a while. You may get a result from someone, or they would have really liked the thing you had, but they didn't. They waited 2 weeks, and your expiration was up, or the timing was off. That's why it's important to keep mailing. Unless it's an election year. That most certainly goes up. We have a ton right now here. Sarah Ballston, great to see you. Not here in Florida, freaking junk. It's all crazy. I guess Florida's can't mail in Florida. My kids are all in this generation. Yeah. Mail is such a cool thing, and they just don't. think that Amazon, Target also sends a cat for toys. I mean, this is like they get it in the mail. It's got the pictures of the toys. Like, it's an experience. Mail is fantastic. Jerry Rodriguez is here. Realtor Roulette, someone said. That's all I got for you today. I hope you appreciate that, Rachel and Dalton. I appreciate you guys a ton. I guess this stat really is something to just put in perspective of how easy it is to stand out when you're fighting with social media ads. And I'm not saying not do social media, because I am a big fan of social media marketing. I think it's important. But when you're fighting for attention at the local level, especially, the mail is like an empty, it's just a place, not empty. It's very full, but it's full of opportunity, but there's like no one competing. You are going to be the only realtor showing up. You're going to have like no competition. John Hayes is here from Ireland. You need to do another video interview with the guy who specializes in election. Oh yeah, Curtis. Yep. I know. There's so much money in that. I know. Pulche endorses this message. Happy birthday to your son. He's so happy. He's 16. He can't wait to drive, man. I let him drive already. We go out at night and go driving around. But now he can do it legally. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. I'll throw the big screen on here. I will see you next week, hopefully with some more videos. Feel free to shoot us an email anytime. Say hi to our new staff member, Marissa. Take care. Bye. All done. Done.